What's up, guys? This is me, Slackow, and I'm here to show you my current personal best for Random Seed Minecraft 1.16. So this isn't my personal best, that's just the run right before it. I decided to just jump off because I took a ton of time and I couldn't find any structures. So there I create the world, and it's loading up. And the first thing I see when I look around is a ruined portal. So I decide to head straight for it. I also see that desert temple in the distance. It's pretty close. But I go for the ruined portal first because it can have iron nuggets, it can have gold tools, it can have a lot of good stuff for the start. It can save a lot of time basically. So I go in and there's a bunch of iron nuggets, 2 flint and steels, and gold armor, and that's pretty much like the perfect ruined portal. Like I think the only thing that would have been better is maybe golden carrots, maybe some more obsidian, but I guess gold tools too, but like that's a pretty optimal one. Getting that many nuggets is pretty good. So I managed to have 1 iron already, and I decided to go for the temple because temples, they can have iron, and I decided to just play that way. I don't know. I haven't had too much success with temple runs. Like I've only had one other temple that's actually given me enough iron in order to complete my run. But I decided to just go for it, and I figure, you know what, maybe I'll see a village over the hill. Going for the temple is probably the best strat here, and thankfully it ended up working out. Also, as I was passing through, you may not have noticed, but I heard lava pops underneath one of the water lakes, so I decided to investigate that. I kind of messed up my crafting here. That's pretty funny. I just make a basic wooden pick so I can break through the ground faster. It probably would have been faster just mine by hand, honestly. But I go through, I mine, I grab the TNT, and then I blow it all up at once. And this is a way you can loot all the Desert Temple chests all at once. There's other ways of doing it, but I find this way is the most successful one for me. And I get all the stuff and I stack up out. And I noticed that I got 5 iron. And at first I thought that wasn't enough, but then I realized that I got the 1 extra iron from the ruined portal in the form of a bunch of iron nuggets, and I also already had my flint and steel from the ruined portal. So I actually had the perfect amount. I make a stone axe, stone shovel. I didn't really need the shovel that badly at this moment, but it's just good to make. And then I make my bucket. And that's pretty much everything I need. Like I sit there for a second, so I'm thinking like, yeah, no, I got everything. It's not very common to get it that fast. Then I mine the gravel because I forget that I already have a flint and steel. So this is a bit of a time loss, but no, not a very big deal. So I grab my water. By the way, I have like the full raw recording. I uploaded that onto YouTube. So if you want to see, like, I have like the live commentary in there. Like it's literally just a raw file. I just decided to upload that to be safe. So I investigate the lava pops I heard, and then I see that it was just a single lava source. So then I just run back to the ruined portal because the ruined portal had lava underneath, and I could make a nether portal just using that. And before I do that, I believe I get some food. So I realize, like, oh, I need that if I want to actually complete this run. And so I kill, I think, 2 sheep here. I kill the sheep because, they also drop wool. So, that's pretty useful. You gotta make beds later, so. I burned the pig. The pigs ended up being my main food source. This pig was being a little tricky. I think the other ones, I kind of just messed up. I aimed in the wrong direction. It's kind of tough to aim sometimes with the grass, but I get pretty lucky with the pork chop drops here. I get a pretty good amount. Like, this is pretty good. I was worried that the pig was going to jump into the water for a second there, but he didn't. I think something pushed me out of the window. I don't even know what it was, but that's why my game paused there. Hope that's not a problem. Yeah, so I decided to throw out my junk, and I get to building my portal. So I decided to build it off center, like right there. because I figure that's probably the best position for me to do it with this rune portal setup. And I kind of messed it up a little bit. You'll see why in a second, but you know, this part's pretty clean. Like, I just do this, and then as soon as I do this, it makes all the water flow, and oh no, that sucks. And that was a ghost lava, because the lava got covered in water before I could actually grab it. But then there were more sources underneath these slabs because of the rune portal, so thankfully, it wasn't a big problem. I got really lucky with that. And then I just needed the two underneath, so I moved my water down. I moved it down incorrectly, though, as you'll see in a second here. So I moved the lava, and I cover up my water source, and I realized, like, I need to grab more water, and then I remember, oh wait, I got one obsidian. So I just did that, because that's way faster. So I accidentally ruined my water, but it's not a big deal since I'm entering the nether anyway. And so, you know, the water's not very useful in the nether. So I lower my render distance back down. I see immediately a fortress, so I decide to go the opposite way. I'm just trying to mentally figure out exactly what quadrant it's in. And yeah, like based on its distance and based on my current coordinates. And I go the opposite way, and I immediately see a treasure bastion. I'm able to instantly identify it because of the way the gold blocks are exposed in the back like that. That only happens in treasure. So I realized I forgot to grab my wood, so I couldn't make a boat. So I just kind of have to drop here and heal. And I also grabbed my wood because I need it to make beds later on. And I think I grabbed like 7. Yeah, 7. And then I build up towards this bastion. I feel like this probably could have been more efficient somehow. I guess it would have been more efficient if I grabbed the oak wood, like, towards my spawn. I probably should have done that. That was kind of a dumb mistake, honestly. Yeah, so I enter here through the front, and I already have gold armor from the ruin portal, so the piglins aren't going to be mad at me, which is very helpful. And I do this strat that I saw in the world record video. It's like you dig out the thing in the center, and then there's a gold block always here. This was actually really risky. I should have eaten before I did this, because you can see I get down to half a heart. That would have killed the run immediately. I definitely should have eaten before I did that. That was really risky. And also I heard this one last piglin, because I forgot to break that block. And sometimes they get caught on that. So you're supposed to break the block. I kind of messed up there. Yeah, so I grabbed the stuff in the chest. They're starting to already be done with the gold I gave them, because I didn't give them that much. So I mined some more. This section was actually really bad with gold blocks. Like, I believe 6 can spawn max. There's like a 30% chance that 1 doesn't for each specific slot. And I ended up only getting 2 of the 6. That's a pretty low roll. But then the other room, which generates in exactly the same way, had some more. So that was pretty helpful. So you can see I'm kind of sorting my inventory here while the piglin are trading. I grabbed some soul speed boots there, which is nice. I got some more string. I grabbed this other gold block. I realized, like, oh, I'm kind of wasting time. I need to give them more gold first before I go for the top area. And then I go for the top area. I mine these gold blocks. This one ended up actually being pretty good. I think I got like 5 out of the 6. Yeah, so I got all of those. And then there was like 2 more possible blocks in this bastion that I just didn't get. Because I decided, like, okay, that's probably enough. So I give them all of it. And they get to work trading it. And I realized, like, oh, I actually have a lot of stuff already. I drink that fire res, because, you know, I like to get 2. I split my pearls there, so I can have more in my inventory at once. They hit me there, which is actually kind of scary. I decided to wait for a little bit more string here, because it's kind of risky going with the amount I had. Like, I probably would have gone if I had more crying obsidian, but I only had enough for, like, 1 anchor. And I didn't want to risk it. So I decided to wait a bit more. I get another string trade, and I'm out. So I go back through here, and I pearl out, I believe. Yep. And I go back towards the fortress that I saw when I entered. And the soul sand here kind of messes my FOV, because I'm in Quake Pro. So I lower my FOV, and then I think I pearl up here. I decided to eat this golden apple so I don't die from the pearl. And I throw the pearl. I actually miss. This is a place where I wasted quite a bit of time. Like, this run could have very easily been sub 19 if I had just not missed this. But, I mean, there's not really much I can do about that. It just kind of sucks. I missed my pearl. I probably should have aimed for the right side, because if I undershot, I could have at least landed on the ledge. Because there's a ledge there. There's not a ledge from the back. I probably should have aimed for that region, but I didn't. So then I kill this blaze. I actually land on this ledge. That's the ledge I'm talking about. I should have probably pearled there. But I just messed up there, basically. Yeah. So I get Monster Hunter on the blaze. I see a ton of mobs over there, and I decide I don't really want to deal with them. So I kind of dig out the area. I'm looking back. I'm making sure that they're not, like, going to wander towards me and then see me and then attack me. Because wither skeletons are pretty scary, honestly. So I go for all this, like, even when you're in easy mode. So I mine all the blocks at the bottom. And then I believe I just decide to block off this region. Yeah, I do this structure. Wither skeletons can't get past it because they're too tall and they can't climb on the sides. Oh, I also decided to drink my fire res here because I wasn't sure exactly when I had drank the other one, and I wanted to be safe. Like, I knew from this point I wouldn't need more than 3 minutes. Like, if I needed more than 3 minutes, the run would probably die anyway. So I kind of just banked on that. I mine those extra blocks. I probably should have done that a bit earlier, but it doesn't make that big a difference. I shouldn't have been that close to the spawner, because you yourself as the player, you obscure spawns. I don't think I obscured any spawns that time. I mean, it's impossible to tell, but I kill all the blazes here, and I have 5 so far. So I decide, while I'm waiting, I'm gonna craft my string into wool. And I realize I have enough for 7 beds, which is that's a pretty perfect amount. Like, I'm comfortable if I get 6 personally. So I get the rods. I get 6. I'm waiting. I actually kind of wanted 7, so I kind of kill this. So make sure they're not spawning, and then I get another spawn here. I think it spawns 2. Yeah, we'll see in a sec. Yeah, there, and neither of them drop. So I still have 6. So that kind of sucked. I wasted a bit of time there. But then I decided to go over here because the coordinates are better for blind travel. And I also kind of wanted to activate that spawner. There were so many mobs here. This is honestly the most impressive thing I think I've ever done in speedrunning, was just dodging all of these mobs. I'm surprised I did not get hit once. That was, like, really impressive. Even by these skeletons, I dodged them. Like, I don't know, I just suddenly morph into Neo somehow. Like, I don't know how I did that. I wish I could do that in all my runs. But I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna blind travel right here, because I don't want to deal with all that. And, yeah. So I go through, and I kind of realize, like, oh, I don't have a boat, and there's no trees nearby. But I throw my eyes, and it goes towards that landmass. And I realize, oh, I'm gonna have to swim that way. And my first eye also breaks there. So I start swimming, and I think when I go into F5 mode here, I see a dolphin. So I decide to go for it. I don't know if this saved more time than it wasted, honestly, because the dolphin was kind of, like, running away from me. But I ended up getting it. It kind of threw me off my course a little. I couldn't really follow the eye while going for the dolphin. So then I go, and I make it to the landmass, past this ship. I think it was probably more efficient to get the dolphin, honestly. I think that was a good play. Honestly, the better play would have just been to get a boat. Like, I have plenty of wood on me, but I can't use it to make a boat, because you can't make a boat out of crimson wood. You have to use, a wood that you get from the overworld. And I didn't have enough of that. So I go through here. I think eventually I kind of realized, like, I'm a little off the angle. Like, here I mine 2 wood specifically, so if I find another ocean, I can just make a boat. and I throw my other eye somewhere around here, and it continues that way. It's like 35. I don't remember what the first angle was, but I think I decided, like, because of the way I moved, I kind of didn't get the exact angle the first time, so I figured I should probably figure out what the distance is. So I moved to the right, or somewhere around here. Like, I kind of realized this around here. Like, I probably shouldn't just go in the direction of the eye. I should get a rough idea of the distance. So I decide to throw it, I think, right past this patch of creepers. I throw it, and I see the angle changes, like, dramatically. Like, that is a huge change. And I grab the eye here. Those creepers were kind of freaking me out a bit, but I was able to just run away. I should have probably been throwing pearls to move, but honestly, I'm not that used to having this many pearls once I, like, exit the nether. I usually low roll when I do, like, bastion runs. So I throw another eye while on top of this mountain, because I realize, like, they diverge really close to here. And then I realize, like, it's most likely in this chunk. So I just go for it. Because the eye always points to the center of the chunk that the stronghold spawns in. And I see, like, okay, the line follows exactly to the center. So I go for it. Like, it technically could have been a bit further, but I figured this was probably the best place to dig down. And I'm digging down in a specific part of the chunk so that I get into the starter staircase. And I was actually a little worried around this point, but then I remembered I was digging from a tall mountain, so digging this amount of time is pretty normal. So I get in, I go through the center, because that's most common for it to spawn. I go through this room, I see stairs, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. I'm like, I check one more, I'm like, okay, no, this is too far, I'm going back. Because the portal room usually spawns within, like, 5 rooms. This actually terrified me when I fell in that hole, because that could have been straight to lava. That would have ended the run. But thankfully, it wasn't that bad. You know, so I search some of these other branches, and then I just decide, okay, I'm just going to head back. I'm going to check another branch. I check here, there's nothing. I check up here, nothing. So I know it's most likely top left here. Go through 2 hallways. There's this 4-way. 4-ways are really good. I go through this door. There's nothing. I go through that, or like I just look, like, okay, that doesn't go anywhere. So the only place it could possibly be in this branch has to be this way. And I see silverfish hisses and lava pops, and I know it has to be on my right. And I see that there's a hidden room there based on the way the 5-way spawned. And I notice it's a 5-eye. This was. That's a really low chance of happening. That was pretty insane. My reaction was like, what? I've never seen that. Like, bro, that was, and by this point, I wasn't nervous. Like, I was pretty calm the entire time until I got to the end. Like, right here, this is when I started getting nervous. Like, I was calm throughout the entire time. Like, I was like, oh, hey, I'm on pace to get, like, to beat my current personal best, which is sub 25. So I craft my beds here. This is pretty standard. I think, yeah, like, I don't craft my final bed, because I figure, like, okay, I can do it with 6. I realize I have a lava bucket, not a water bucket, so I pearl up to make it up the tower. That's, like, the faster strat anyway. But I would have been more comfortable to use a water bucket. I realized I forgot to change it to from lava to water. So I turn on hitboxes because that makes it more helpful when you're doing the final fight. And I stack up to y equals 123. So I go all the way up. And now I'm just basically waiting. I think I was thinking about crafting a boat, because I completely forgot that I had, like, a ton of spare pearls. And I realized, like, oh, wait, I don't need to do that. And I'm doing east-west because it's safer, because you get to see the dragon. Like, I see he's circling the center. I probably shouldn't have actually pearled, because there is a small chance that he's not actually going to perch. I don't know what causes it, but yeah, here's the 1 cycle. Yes! Sub 20! Oh my god!
I did it. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, so that was the run. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I was freaking out after I finished this run. This like blew my mind. Like I was watching like Parks and Rec out of context while doing this, and like it was really funny to me that I did this while just watching random YouTube videos. So yeah, that's the entire run right there. Thank you for watching.